Hello students, see this question, it's a very good one. We are given that if separation between a source and a detector changes due to relative motion between them, the detector detects sound of pitch different from that emitted by the source. This observed change in the pitch is known as Doppler shift, correct? And the effect is known as Doppler's effect. All of you are familiar with the Doppler's effect. Under the conditions when Doppler shift is observed, intensity of the sound also changes. In this task, we study the change in intensity of sound detected by a detector due to relative motion between a source and a detector. A point source is emitting sound isotropically at constant power P, and the sound travels with velocity c relative to the air. So we have to find out, first of all, a detector is moving with a constant velocity Vd towards a stationary source in still air. So find the suitable expression for intensity I of the sound received by the detector. So basically in part A we have to calculate that if the observer is moving, source is stationary. So what is the intensity received by the observer? Okay. So understand. Here is my source that is generating sound in all directions. It's a point source creating sound in all directions. So the spherical wavefronts will be created, right? And the power of the source is how much? P. So now I'm right now observing two wavefronts. What is the distance between the two wavefronts? The distance between the two wavefronts will be equal to the wavelength. Okay, that equal to one wavelength, that will be lambda. The distance between two wavefronts will be equal to lambda, right? I am observing these two wavefronts. Now if I ask you what is the energy stored between the two wavefronts, what is the energy stored in this spherical shell that is spreading outwards? So I'll write that down. Energy in the gap between, this is between two wavefronts, will be how much? You are emitting power, you are emitting sound energy at the rate of P. Okay, the power of the sound source is P, and the distance between two wavefronts is equal to one wavelength, and the time taken for emitting one wavelength is how much? Lambda. So we could say that this energy will be equal to P multiplied by T. Energy emitted in one time period will be the energy stored in one wavelength. Okay, energy emitted in one time period will be equal to energy stored in one wavelength. So the energy in one wavelength or energy between two wavefronts will be pt. Okay, now I take a small cylinder over here. Okay, I'm taking a small cylinder whose area is a. So what is the energy inside this small cylinder? That will be equal to energy in this tiny cylinder will be how much? That will be equal to total energy in the entire shell Pt divided by total area 4 pi r square. This radius is equal to r. Okay, total energy in the spherical shell divided by total area 4 pi r square. So basically P by 4 pi r square is intensity. Okay, and I multiply that with this area A. So this is the energy in this cylinder, in this tiny cylinder, that is going in this direction with how much speed? This energy is traveling in this direction with the speed of sound. Let's say speed of sound is equal to c. Okay, this is the speed of sound. Now we have an observer, that is the detector, that is coming up in opposite direction. This is your detector. Okay, this is coming in opposite direction with speed how much? Vd. Okay, so what is the time taken by this cylinder to cross the detector? This cylinder and the detector both are moving in opposite direction. So you could say that relative velocity will be how much? C plus Vd, and time to cross each other will be how much? Length of the cylinder lambda divided by relative velocity C plus Vd. Okay, C plus Vd. This is your time to cross. And in this much time, this much energy will be crossing the detector. So energy crossing the detector will be how much? Or power received by detector will be how much? Energy by time. So energy is PTA by 4 pi r square, PTA by 4 pi r square divided by time, that is lambda by C plus Vd. So I'll write over here C plus Vd divided by lambda. This is your power. So intensity will be how much? Intensity received by detector, that will be this power divided by area. So basically I remove this area term from the formula, that's it. So this is the intensity received by the detector. Now I could replace this lambda with how much is lambda equal to speed of sound c multiplied by time period t. So this time t will cancel out. Okay, so I remove the time period t. So this is your formula for the intensity received by the detector when source is stationary and the detector is moving towards the source. This is the formula. Okay, now we come to the second part. Point source is moving with a velocity vs towards a stationary detector in still air. Find suitable expression for intensity I of the sound received by the detector at a distance r from the source. Okay, now again we follow the same principle that we applied over here, but we have this energy in a cylinder, right, equal to PTA by 4 pi r square. So we will use again the same formula, PTA by 4 pi r square. And speed of the cylinder is how much? That is equal to c. But now the length of the cylinder has changed. So I'll write over here, I'll repeat everything and then change the formula. So now because of Doppler shift, the cylinders will have lesser gap over here and more gap over here. So I could show you that by shifting the cylinder slightly. Okay, so the shifting the spherical shell slightly. Okay, so the length of the cylinder has decreased now. Okay, and the wavelength over here will be how much? Wavelength, that was a bug in iPad. Okay, so wavelength over here will be how much? Again, this wavelength over here will be what? C minus Vs multiplied by time period t. S is the speed of, Vs is the speed of the source, correct? So the wavelength over here will be C minus Vs into t. Again, we use the same concept now. We have the detector which is at rest now. It is not moving. So what is your relative speed now? Relative speed between detector and cylinder will be how much? Cylinder has a speed, the cylinder has a speed c, but detector is at rest, so relative speed is equal to c only. So time to cross will be how much? Time to cross will be wavelength divided by relative speed c. Now wavelength is equal to what? C minus Vs into t. So c minus Vs times t divided by c. Okay, so again this is the energy in the cylinder, so this much energy has crossed the detector in this much time. So power received by detector will be how much? That will be equal to, we use the same formula, PTA by 4 pi r square divided by time to cross. So C minus Vs times time period and C in the numerator. Again T is getting cancelled out and intensity will be what? Intensity received by detector will be what? That will be this power divided by area. So we remove this area term. So that will be equal to P by 4 pi r square times C divided by C minus Vs. Okay. So this is the intensity received by the detector when source is moving but observer is stationary. And this is the intensity received when observer is moving but source is stationary. Now in the third part they are asking that the point source is moving in still air with a constant velocity Vs towards a detector that is moving with a constant velocity Vd towards the source. Now source and detector both are moving towards each other. So now we have to find the intensity. What will that be? So we just combine these two formula. When detector is moving, this is the formula. We multiply this factor. When source is moving, we multiply this factor. So when source is moving, detector is also moving, they are moving towards each other. So your intensity will be what? P by 4 pi r square is the original intensity. We multiply that with C plus Vd by C because detector is moving. And again we multiply that with C divided by C minus Vs because source is also moving. So your net formula will be what? P by 4 pi r square C plus Vd divided by C minus Vs. Clear?